It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Good evening, sports fans. This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith. In this game, we'll see the San Antonio Spurs going up against the Golden State Warriors.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning into 2K Sports. We've got some NBA action for you coming up. We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first... A two-way player to be sure, DA. Thanks. And before the ownership changed in 2010, the Warriors franchise really staggered.
Yeah, they staggered to the point that in 2012, I wrote a long column for Grantland about, it was like the 60 reasons you can't blame the Warriors. Fans were booing their owner on Chris Mullin night. And I went through their whole history since they won the title in '74 of just all the horrible things that happened to them, all the dumb moves they made, all the dumb trades, all the things they never should have done. It was extensive. And after things flipped around, people mail me that article all the time, like, can you believe it? We've won 3 titles in the last 4 years. You just wrote this. It feels like yesterday. And it was. It's one of the most amazing turnarounds of any franchise I can remember.
I'm assuming you're a fan of their front office.
Yeah, very, very smart. But, you know, the pieces were there. When they bought the team, everyone thought they overpaid. And not to toot my own horn because I've been wrong a million times, but I was one of the only people who didn't think they overpaid. I just felt like that market was awesome. I loved their fans. It was in the heart of Silicon Valley. It made sense that they should be a juggernaut, you know, and they had never really had good ownership. And as we learn over and over every year at the Knicks, like, owners matter. They just do.
And the starting group for the Spurs, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. Then it's AI, then it's DeRozan, and it's Walker in at the 2. AI passes to Aldridge, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And Golden State gets called for the foul. This is his first free throw of the game. Bill, you've watched the NBA evolve. Talk about some of the biggest changes over the last decade you've seen.
The three-point line and the threes or foul shots philosophy, I think, is the biggest thing. Just the pace of the game has really improved and to a really pleasing way for fans. Like, just what Steve Nash was doing last decade and those Suns teams, that everybody's playing that way now. I think the social media and the players basically getting rid of the wall between them and the fans, using social media, using Instagram, and we just feel like we know these guys better. And their ability to control their own message now versus where they were 10 years ago. Huge. It all started with the decision in LeBron James and has carried through this whole decade. And these guys now, they can get whatever message out they want. They can criticize the president. They can criticize their own team. They can ask for a trade. If they get called out by some writer or somebody writes a hit piece, they can go back at the guy and sick all their fans on the writer.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here. Going back to our topic from a moment ago, Bill, you mentioned the interaction between players and social media and how that's become a new facet, a skill we're seeing daily from players.
There's just way more accountability now. And I'm really impressed by how polished the guys are that come in the league now. And I think the LeBron generation, LeBron, Wade, Chris Bosh, some of those guys from the last generation that came up and became vets and really knew how, Paul Pierce, who knew how to handle their business. Now these new guys come in, they're 19, 20 years old, and they act like they're 30. I'm sure you see it at the games.
Shocking.
Whereas in the 90s, it was a free-for-all, and you had these guys who, if you gave them a live mic, you were terrified. And now these guys are 19 years old,
polished,
giving, like, you know, long interviews to reporters. It's like, how are you doing this?
Tatum in particular is very
Tatum's
impressive.
already good at being a bad interview.
He's
like, he doesn't say anything. He knows how to dodge any question. It's like, you're 19. How do you know how to do this?
Unbelievable.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
You know, and I'm not seeing any urgency out of this defense, especially considering the deficit in the score.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Out to DeRozan. Back to AI. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. They get Stephen Curry. Bill, with last year's do-or-die season finale between Minnesota and Denver, final game of the regular season, momentum is gathering for a play-in tournament, maybe for the last 2 playoff spots. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I wrote about this in 07. I called it the entertaining as hell tournament, where basically the first 7 seeds were guaranteed, and the 16 teams that didn't make it out of the 2 conferences, they just went head-to-head, single elimination. And then you have the final 2 games in New York City, and you blow it out, and you have a fun thing with it. I think that Minnesota-Denver game was important, and maybe the solution is you have the 6 seeds guaranteed in each conference, and then you have 7, 8, 9, 10 in each conference, and you just have playing games. You have 7 versus 10. You have 8 versus 9. You do it over the course of a couple days. Use the TV revenue from that, because you could get good money from that, to maybe shorten the season.
Great
which
idea.
Would be, for me, the number one thing I would change about the league. I think we should have a 70-game season. You could talk me into 76, but there's too many games. There's too many nights where the players... I just think basketball is really hard to play.
And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And it goes on Draymond Green. Here's San Antonio. They're on a 14-2 run here. On the court right now for the Spurs, we've got Medu, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist out there with DeRozan. Then it's AI, and it's Walker in at the shooting guard.
Wow, AI attacking the rim with ferocity. Go ahead, sir.
Warriors trail by 11. We were talking about the length of the NBA season and various opinions on shortening it. I suppose, Bill, one argument is that you want regular season games to be more significant, and you want that regular season to mean something.
Mean a little bit more.
Yeah.
Make the pace, I don't know. When you get after the All-Star break, you can really feel these guys slogging through it. You know, and especially with the good teams, like a team like Golden State, all they did all year was whine and complain. Oh, well, we knew this was going to be a hard season. Can't be that hard. You have 4 of the best 20 players. Like, settle down. I think you'll be fine. You're winning every game by 30 points.
Yeah.
But I wish they would tighten the season.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Hi, Kevin. Well, AI, in their last time out against the Rockets, had a huge night. He ended with 16 points and was diming everybody up with an incredible assist game, setting up his teammates all night long. He racked up big numbers in what was a really good performance. Can he carry it over tonight? We'll see, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you, guys. Could you believe that performance? Wow.
I mean, it was really something to see. Yeah, he showed everybody just how special he is when he is on his game.
Well, that was an elite performance, and it didn't seem to matter what approach they used to try to slow this guy down. He had an answer for everything.
We've got 1:55 left in the first half of the game. Down low, here's Aldridge. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Aldridge has got 14 points for the game.
And now this game is becoming a showcase for Aldridge. He's been out of control, a one-man team. Now it's just a matter of getting him the ball and getting out of his way.
The Warriors making a switch here. Durant's checked in. And Walker kicks to AI. 1:32 left to play in the first half. And he drops in the layup off the glass. AI's got 4 points in the quarter.
What I like here, AI challenging the defense inside, working for high percentage shots.
Well, we want to thank the sports guy for being here. Enlightening as always. Bill, what a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, I hope my son was impressed. Thank you, Kevin.
I'm sure he was. Door is always a spirited discussion when Bill's involved, not afraid to share his personal views.
Yes, Kevin, he has broken the internet once or twice. This guy is no stranger to controversy, but I will say this, he is passionate about the NBA.
And it's good, 2 points. Kidd-Gilchrist has got his first basket.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Yes, you love that they're not settling for anything outside the paint. Excellent work getting right to the tin.
And here's Evans outside, and that one is off. And the Spurs going the other way now.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Inside, outside for Durant. Golden State moving it around.
Boy, what wonderful vision. Kevin Durant with a picture-perfect pass. Woo-hoo!
It's AI on the wing, guarded by Kerr. AI left side. And the jam by AI.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. And so it's San Antonio with a sizable lead as the quarter wraps up. They're ahead 16 points. They've been putting on a clinic in the paint. Shots are falling with regularity, and they are pounding it down low. We'll get right back to the action when... And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. We're seeing a tremendous game from LaMarcus Aldridge.
And I loved in that first half that they were patient, looked for good shots, and knocked them down.
You know, I think, Greg, they never settled for the first look. It was always about, let's get the best shot possible, really good judgment on the offensive end.
They've got Evans. Bell is out there with Looney. And it's Durant, and it's Curry in at the 1. That's Steve Kerr's 5 as we get into the second half. And so Curry will bring it up for Golden State. They trail by 18. Next up on the schedule, the Grizzlies. That'll be a home game, and that game is the second of 2 straight at home. Bell passes to Curry. Drops in the layup for 2. Doris, for rookies, beyond skill, what attributes do you think they need to have an early shot at success?
Yeah, I think one of the things that you always wonder about, and one of the great players in history, Kevin Garnett, talks about the impact that other older players had on him. Sam Mitchell, when he first arrived in the league. They taught him the work habits necessary to succeed at a high level. So the first thing you'd have to have is commitment to work. And the second thing is the right temperament. An NBA season spans 82 games over 6 months. There will inevitably be ups and downs. And how do you weather both of those things, Kevin?
Here's Walker. Basket is good. The assist from AI. And the Spurs lead by 21.
They wanted a fast start coming out of the break, and they are now 3 for 3.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Draymond Green is a former Defensive Player of the Year, and he remembers his motivation. They said I fell in the draft because what position would I guard? I'll never forget that. I'm comfortable guarding any position. When I'm playing against big guys, I battle even harder. You have to prove a point. I won't be a pushover. Kevin?
Yeah, he never backs down. Thanks, David.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Shots good by Walker.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
And here is Curry, stolen by AI. Bell with the block.
Well, the high motor, versatile defender, Jordan Bell, twice on the pipes.
Allen dishes to Curry. Over AI. And again, no good by Golden State.
Boy, he hasn't given them much of anything tonight. He's got to look for his own shot a little less and keep the ball moving.
Here's Aldridge. Green with the block.
Well, let's remember a former Defensive Player of the Year, Draymond Green, sending it back.
Outside for Curry. Pass to Durant. Shoots over DeRozan. And the Warriors miss again.
Maybe not that time, but he'll hit more than his share if he's left open.
It's AI on the wing. Guarded by Curry. And the jam by AI.
Well, yet another terrific possession from AI. He can be prolific and efficient. We're seeing the best from him this evening.
Warriors have gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break. Now the pass to Green. over Aldridge. That one wide left.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Well, classic example of crowding the shooter, not letting him get comfortable in the mid-range.
Outside Kid Gilchrist. They get the rebound with the second effort, and he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistle blowing. And Golden State gets called for the foul.
Excellent up fake. AI's crafty about drawing contact. Knows he has a chance to get the defender in the air there.
The G League, Doris, growing roster of teams, introduced two-way contracts last season. Is it safe to call it an official minor league at this point, do you think?
I'm just going to say that I thought this was one of the best changes to the NBA last season. And you look at certain...
And DeRozan kicks to AI. Look at the state of the game. International leagues getting better and better, Doris. There's no doubt about it. We see it at Olympic times and during FIBA play in between. We see a lot of NBA players who have spent time abroad. I think they come back better.
I don't think there's any doubt about that, Kevin. I think wherever you can hone your craft and do it in a competitive environment where winning and losing is at stake on a nightly basis, it has so many opportunities for learning and growth. So, okay, I can't turn it over 5 times in a competitive environment, regardless of what league I'm playing in, because that's to the detriment of my team. If I'm lazy on the defensive end, I'm going to get exposed by good offensive players. To me, Kev, I love any time there's competitive basketball being played. I want to watch it.
Love that answer. On the floor for San Antonio, we've got Michael Kidd Gilchrist, also LaMarcus Aldridge out. DeRozan out there with AI, and it's Walker in at the shooting guard position. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. AI in the post, guarded by Kerr. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Well, you catch the defender a little out of position. AI has the awareness to see it and the talent to take advantage of it.
And the first one at the line is good. That one is no good. And it's Durant with the ball. He'll bring it up for Golden State. There's the triple. And another 3 for Golden State.
Well, I'm not sure there's a player in the league with a better feel for that shot than Steph Curry. If he gets it off clean, you know it's going in.
AI passes to Aldridge. Tries again, and the layup is good. Aldridge has got 19 points.
It's starting to look like a repeat of last night, guys. He's battling really hard out there.
Oh, he sure is. I mean, these past 2 games, his energy level has been sensational. Whether it's a putback like that or other hustle plays, he's been everywhere.
AI passes to Kidd Gilchrist. AI in the post. Curry meets him. And AI gets it to go.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Spurs.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And so with this, they'll end up with their 2nd win on the year.
They can chalk this one up, but these 2 teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for AI.
Boy, we got to see this guy's full range of offensive ability. He scored at every opportunity and in every way imaginable.
Running up the score, showing no mercy.
At this point, they're completely overwhelming them. The opposition looks totally defeated.
No good from Durant. San Antonio with the ball. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. One item that stood out, their ball movement.
Things are definitely clicking, and more importantly, it makes it really hard to defend.
We've got 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's AI. Makes it off the glass.
And on the road, silencing the crowd. What a dominant performance.
Well, they took control of this game from the outset, a commanding all-around performance and an important road win.
Frazier kicks to Carroll. Pass to Durant, looking to end the run. That one misses. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thank you. DeMar, we know this team has offensive options, but it looks like there's great confidence defensively now.
Yeah, we have to.
David, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.